Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday. So I'm excited to have everybody. And I know we had several that are on in the waiting room listening to us. And so I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us this morning. I'm really excited about this morning's conversation with some good friends about things going on in Bentonville. And the virtual coffee for the mayor is something we started a few months ago because we just had a lot of requests from the public to inform us about what's going on and things. And it's so hard to do that because we have so much going on in the city, but we're trying to do that at least once a month, and really excited about the three individuals I have with me this morning to share some things going on in Bentonville. But before we get started, one of the other new things that we've started in the city of Bentonville, and we used to do an Outstanding Citizen Award, but we've changed that award to the Spirit of Bentonville Award. And this morning, I believe we have Leslie, Kara, Kelly, and Celeste with us from the True Colors Tulip Farm. I don't know if they can hear us in the background, but I have Spirit of Bentonville awards for each of you. And if we can hear you, I would love for you to tell a little bit of the story of behind the farm and how it was put together. And I think you are an amazing example of what I like to say our Build Up Bentonville series. And it's really to our Spirit of Bentonville Award. And it's really just finding individuals in our community that are just without being, just because they're passionate about a cause, or kind of taking up that cause and finding ways to make things better in our community. And I just want to sincerely say thank you. And I would love for one of you to tell us a little bit of the story or the history of how the True Colors Tulip Farm began.
Hi, so I'm Leslie Morse. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Perspectability is our nonprofit that we founded. And basically, we are all moms of kids with differences. And some of us have older children who are at the high school level. And about 3 years ago, I guess, we met through mutual friends and started getting together for coffee about once a month, sometimes a little bit more frequently. And when we began to discuss what our kids were going to do post high school, we were concerned. There are definitely options that are great options, but we weren't sure that they were options that fit our kids' needs and different levels of support. And so we were very passionate about an inclusive option for our kids post high school. So we founded Perspectability with that goal in mind, of that they would have the opportunity, not just for inclusion, but also for choice, to be able to decide what do they want to do, where do they want to live, where do they want to work. True Colors Tulip Farm was birthed, I guess, one as a way to generate profit for Perspectability, but just as importantly, to employ neurodiverse young adults and adults, and give them the opportunity to work and to be included in the community. It's a way to get the community out. We have found that it is really, really popular, which was our hope and desire, that we would have lots of participation from the community. So it's an opportunity to educate them about adults and just individuals with neurodiversities, and then also give the adults with neurodiversities a chance to intermingle with the public. Inclusion and equal opportunities typically don't just happen. You have to be intentional with planning those things, and then also with preparing the individuals who are going to be working. I know with my son personally, it was something that we had several soft openings for the Tulip Farm so that he could practice what his job would be. The community has been so incredibly welcoming and inviting, and they've had wonderful things to say about the employees. And we're all really sad that it's only going to last really a few more weeks because the boys are already asking, what are we doing next? And so we're like, well, I don't know, but we can plant some pumpkins, or I don't know.
Such a great story. I don't know, but one of my favorite things that the city of Bentonville does is the tulip. We plant the tulips and the tulip bloom. And so the concept that you came up with is just such a beautiful concept, and to see everybody engage it. And I will say, so when I at night scroll through social media to see what has happening, the pictures from the farm have been just absolutely amazing too. So I just want to say thank you to all of the founding mothers, Leslie, Kara, Kelly, and Celeste. And thank you just again for what you're doing for the community. And it's really just a heartwarming, amazing story. And these are the type of stories that we want to tell more about Bentonville and what's going on here. So thank you for joining. I hope you were a little bit surprised. I know you do not, I know none of you want the awards or the recognition, but I do think it's important for the community to recognize when we do have community members that just step up and say, hey, I'm passionate about this, and I'm going to see this through. So thank you again. And I hope we were able to make your morning maybe a little bit brighter this morning, and again, say thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I also I've got coins that are going to be engraved with your name on them. So we will get their certificates and the coins to you, and hopefully be able to take a picture or bring you to City Hall to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thought that would be a great way to start the morning. As you know, we've kind of started the Build Up Bentonville series. And so we just love hearing these. There's so many stories in our community of people doing amazing things like this. And so we wanted to be able to start the morning recognizing that. And then I'm excited to have three of my good friends here this morning to talk about things going on in the city of Bentonville. And a lot of times we get asked about events at the city or buildings going up. And honestly, we're not the best resource. Sometimes we may know about them, but it's really some of our community partners that are going to have more information to share with the public. So we're going to start this morning with Sandy Edwards. She's with Crystal Bridges. And they've had a couple of big announcements in the last few weeks that and when I say big, not just big for our region, but really announcements that are probably being shared on a worldwide type of a stage. So, Sandy, I'm going to turn it over to you to share a little more information about those two announcements. And I believe Debbie's online and she's got your slides, and we'll help share those through this presentation.
Good. Well, thank you, Mayor. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share some time with our colleagues. I have so much excitement about this that we have been getting from across the country and across the world. As we approach our 10th anniversary, we have welcomed, our 10th anniversary is going to be 11/11/21, so it's coming up. So we're not yet 10, and we've already welcomed more than 5.2 million people. And that is so much more than 10 years ago we ever anticipated. But we are included in that number is 280,000 students on field trips. So we have a lot of students coming in addition to the general public. But we have also doubled our collection with a focus on acquiring more works by artists who have been traditionally underrepresented in American art and not really featured in museums. So we have already started expanding with our collection and the demand from our public. So we felt it was time to expand our footprint, if you will. So what we are going to do is expand to the north. So it would be off of the North Bridge. And we will, here's wonderful Moshe Safdie, our architect, and Alice Walton looking at a scale model that has been created that shows the expansion. And then the next slide will show that we are adding about 50% more onto our footprint. It's going to be 100,000 square foot addition. So all of that is in the dotted area to the right of the screen is new. And we are coming off of that North Bridge, as you can see there. We will be adding new galleries for our expanded collection. We'll be adding new educational facilities for the increased number of students, and also others that are coming for programs. We'll have more event spaces. I know that Kayleen and Andrew are excited about that. We will have a cafe, and we will have indoor and outdoor gathering places. So if we can stop here on this slide, here we are looking from the north to the south to the existing bridge, Art Bridge, that has 2 galleries. And in between these 2 buildings will be this wonderful new large pad, if you will, where people can just gather. We imagine having special events, perhaps weddings there. So that's wonderful. To the left of the screen, you will see it's a 2-story building. The upper part will be a gallery space that extends the gallery experience from the east side, the historic collection, and down below will be this wonderful expanded educational and meeting room area. And let's see what the next slide might be. Yes, here's a good aerial view. So the bridge that is closest to us is the existing North Bridge. And then you can see that we are essentially replicating another semicircle or horseshoe that will come off of that. So on the upper right, you will go into the extended galleries, come down across the cafe, and then we're duplicating another on this west side expanded gallery that will be very much very similar to our current contemporary gallery in size and scale. So it's just going to be wonderful. One of the things I'm most excited about, I believe, Debbie, the next slide will show the wonderful expanded gardens that we will have. So not only will we have more event space, but there are going to be ways to traverse the water, as you can see with another bridge. We're all about bridges. And then we're going to just have a lot of wonderful native cultivars, trees and plants, and places where you can go and just relax. So not only are we building this incredible expansion of a physical plant, but we are also extending the opportunity for people to enjoy the out of doors. And I would say that as you saw the picture of Moshe Safdie, Moshe Safdie architects were the original architects of Crystal Bridges, and Alice Walton just knew that if we were going to expand, it would have to be a design by Moshe Safdie. She started talking to him about what the next 50 years might look like, but I'm delighted to say that all of that dreaming was compressed into the next 5 years. So we are already in the design phase, but we will move into construction in 22 and be completed by 25. That's the current plan. So we're very excited about it. And I should say that a lot is happening on the east side as well. So as our community goes up and down J Street, you will see that we are preparing to create a garage, a 6th floor, multi-story garage that will help with the expanded audience that we expect, and also the new Whole Health Institute and a wonderful outdoor activity area called Convergence. So you're right, Mayor, we are on the grow. The Crystal Bridges campus is morphing and is going to be just a very exciting adventure over the next 5 years.
Well, Sandy, thank you so much for sharing some of that. And I know the public has been asking to see some of that. So they got some slides today to kind of experience that vision, and it really is an amazing vision. And what I love when I look at it too is not only the art museum is amazing, but the natural landscape and the trees and everything that surrounds it. It's really just beautiful to look at, and it's really impressive to see the thought process that has went into that design. And so I'm really excited about it. I think the public is really excited about it. And so taking 50 years to 5 years is probably a little bit of a challenge. But that's
very Northwest Arkansas. That's how we do things in
Bentonville, I think. So hopefully the public will be patient with us as we have some building going on, but I think the experience is going to be amazing. So thank you, Sandy, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
With us today. And I'm going to go next to, so the city of Bentonville has really kind of two partnering organizations, and they specifically partner Visit Bentonville with the Visitors Bureau bringing in events. And then we also have a partnership with Downtown Bentonville. So some of the events that you see happen in and around the square, we partner with Downtown Bentonville on. So I have Andrew Heath with Downtown Bentonville with us today, and Kayleen Griffith with Visit Bentonville. And they're going to speak to us a little bit about some of the things that Bentonville is known for, and how those events are going to start to happen a little more often, and how we're moving through the pandemic and trying to do these things as safe as possible, but also making sure we're providing events for the public to appreciate and enjoy in a safe manner. So I'm going to start with Andrew, and tell us a little bit what Downtown Bentonville has been up to, and what the public can see in the coming months.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Marion, for the invitation to be here this morning. This is a great honor to join the stage with some of my colleagues that we work with a lot. So the mission of Downtown Bentonville, Inc. is to build and promote a welcoming and lively downtown experience through events, education, and storytelling. And as many of you know, with the last year with the pandemic, we haven't really been able to do that. We did launch a farmer's market last year. We did a drive-through farmer's market to start the season, and then we went to a socially distanced farmer's market on Saturdays. This year, we were able to launch the farmer's market again. We did that 2 weeks ago. It may be the coldest launch of the farmer's market that we've ever had. I'm out there on Saturday mornings freezing, telling myself the weather will change soon. Looking at the forecast, it may take a little bit longer, but we will be back in full force. Besides the farmer's market, last year we weren't able to do our First Fridays, which we're kind of known for downtown. Bringing the community together, having a band and food trucks and different vendors out there for families to come down and enjoy. And we've really missed that experience a lot. And we've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not we're going to be launching them again. And I'm proud to say that, yes, we are. May, we're going to have a scaled back First Friday, maybe not as large as the community is used to seeing. But hopefully by June and July, we'll be kind of replicating what we've done in the past. You'll be able to come out and hopefully not see a lot of differences. People will still be wearing masks, which we encourage. We'll have hand washing stations throughout the event. So we have safety in mind, but we also know that it's important that we begin to gather again as a community. So we're happy to be able to launch those. We're also doing something a little bit different this year that we started last year, and that's we're bringing like a mini block party to different communities throughout Bentonville. Last year we did it because we could control the crowds a lot better. And for safety reasons, that was really important. This year, we're going to be going to neighborhoods and opening it up to the entire community. So keep an eye on our website. It's just downtownbentonville.org. Had to think there for a moment. Or follow us on social media, our Facebook page. We put all of our updates on our Facebook and our Instagram, and it's just Downtown Bentonville for both of those. And you can be able to see which neighborhoods we're going to be going to. Actually this Friday, if it doesn't rain out, because it rained out last Friday, unfortunately. But if this Friday is looking okay, we're going to be going down on B Street between 6th and 7th Street downtown, and we'll have a band and we'll have food trucks. We'll have games for the community to play. And then for the rest of the year, between April and October, normally on the third Friday of the month, we'll be having a different concert in a different spot. And it's just another way to bring the community together so that we can kind of get to know our neighbors a little bit more. Outside of that, something else that we've launched last year during the pandemic was our DWTN media, our downtown media, where we're really trying to amplify stories of our community members, where we go out and we tell a story of a downtown business. We're happy to say we have the mayor that helps us with a Build Up Bentonville series that we do to kind of amplify the stories of people doing good in our community. And once again, it just goes with that mission of us telling the story of everyone so that we can get to know our community a little bit better. We grow at a very rapid rate in this area, and sometimes things can change and new things happen, and we don't always know about it. So we're hoping between the combination of our physical events and our storytelling that we can keep this atmosphere of diversity and inclusion and growth, where we're all kind of connected in some ways. And I really think that Downtown Bentonville Inc. is that glue that keeps a lot of our different elements together. And as you mentioned, we work with really fantastic partners. So Kayleen and her team, they bring the people to town, and we try to wine them and dine them. Not wine, we don't serve alcohol at our events, but we try to keep them engaged, and we try to make it so that they want to come back over and over and over again. So it really is a really strong partnership between all of us. Having Sandy and the museum here is a great amenity. I don't even want to call it amenity because it's so much larger than that. But having a world-class destination in our small little city really does allow us to kind of tell the story of Bentonville on a worldwide stage. And that's what we try to do. So I'm happy to be here and answer any questions that you might have.
Andrew, just remind everyone of your website. And then also I wanted you to talk a little bit about your artist co-op. So you're housed in a building downtown, but I think that's been a really fun, business to sort of come up. And I've really seen the public appreciate it. And I think the artists have really enjoyed having that sort of community there, and obviously also be able to sell their products or their paintings and different things to the public. So I think it's been a good collaboration. So maybe talk a little bit about that as well.
Absolutely. So we are located right downtown on the square. We're in the blue building with the Coca-Cola mural on the side. We've been there for about 3 years now. And last year we were kind of hearing a lot of reports that because festivals and different outdoor events and indoor events were being canceled due to the pandemic, that a lot of our artists weren't having the opportunity to sell their artwork. And just like our hospitality industry that got really hit hard with the pandemic, a lot of our artists and musicians also got hit really hard. So we decided to turn the front portion of our office into a gallery. And currently we have 15 different artists from throughout Arkansas. And it is a co-op, and you can come in and shop and see the different works that they have. We have everything from paintings to woodworking to glass. People think that we have a Chihuly, in our lobby. It's not, but it's just as beautiful. So we offer a lot of different elements, and we've been able to kind of offer a platform for these artists to sell, where many of them wouldn't have had an opportunity last year. And it's not just what we're offering to the artists, but the community has really embraced it as well. We have people coming in from locals to people coming in from out of town. And it's making some really good revenue for these artists. These artists would not have had revenue last year had we not opened this up in a safe manner, and then had the community not embraced it and come in and purchased pieces. We've also included them in our farmers market. So you'll notice that when you come down to the square, we have our traditional farmers market around the square, but on the field adjacent to the farmers market where the chamber building used to be, known as Tucker's Corner, that is now an art, we call it an art market. So we'll have even more artists, not just the 15 that we have from our office, but additional artists from around the area that will come and sell their products as well. That art market alone did about $70,000 worth of business last year. So once again, it was a mechanism for them to get their passion out into the audience, into the community, and the community embraced it by purchasing it. And then I'll just say once again, our website is downtownbentonville.org. And we have a lot of information on there. We keep it updated almost on a daily basis. And then that website will also link to our partners. You can get to Crystal Bridges, you can get to Visit Bentonville. Probably one of our closest partners that we deal with is the city, and especially Park and Recreation. I say they make us look good. If it wasn't for such a well-run park and recreation departments, our events would basically destroy the city because we bring so many people down to the square, and there wouldn't really be anybody to keep the city looking as beautiful as it is. So our partnership with them is extremely strong. They make us look good, but they kind of make our city look really fantastic. So we really appreciate them.
Well, our Parks and Rec maintenance crew that maintains the downtown will be very appreciative of that recognition. They do sort of rebuild the square after every weekend. And so they work really hard to do that and keep it looking nice. So I appreciate you mentioning that. Everyone that's online with us, I want to remind everybody that we will take questions at the end of this. So I'm going to go to Kayleen next, and then usually at about 15 till we'll start to open it up. We'll bring everybody in and we'll remain on and ask questions. So with that, I'm going to move to Kayleen, and Kayleen is with Visit Bentonville. Probably everybody knows Kayleen. She's always out and about, and if you don't know what's going on, you can usually call Kayleen, and she'll be able to tell you the scoop of what's happening. So like I said, a lot of times people call me and I'm like, I'm not really sure, but I can probably direct you to somebody that can tell you exactly what's happening. So with that, Kayleen, I'm going to turn it to you.
Well, thanks, Mayor. I'm super excited to be on this panel as well. I'm fortunate that we get to work as the Tourism Bureau in the city of Bentonville with these wonderful people and so many more. I try to tell people, Debbie, if you want to pop up my PowerPoint, I would love it. I like to tell people that, we don't own any property in our community. Our job is to be a great partner with so many people and promote our city. And, our job is to brand promote Bentonville as a tourism destination, stimulating economic development. The big thing for me is that we get to talk about all the wonderful things happening, from the events to even telling the story of every one of our attractions and our community and our partners. And I think that for us is really big about the collaboration and the partnership we have. And as the mayor says, we try to know what's going on in the community, but we can't do that without the partners that we have, from the mayor and the Crystal Bridges and the Amazium and 21C and all of our hotels and our restaurants, downtown Bentonville, the Chamber of Commerce, Parks Department. We work with all of those folks on a daily basis, and we love that. A couple things that my first question most often in our job is, how are things going? Because tourism was the largest market hit with COVID. Our hotels are still building back up, but I like to say that we're on an uptick, and we have a new software that we can watch what we do from month to month. And so we're really excited about that, so we can be more engaged in what's going on in our community and even across the United States. And so it's a really great software that we're doing, but you can see that people are coming in right now on an average of about 2 nights stay. Our leisure market is doing fabulous. Bikes and arts, we are competing with a lot of large areas. Our weekends are doing well for our hotels. Until that corporate world comes back, we're still going to be building. And I know that that's just something that we have to wait for. And it's not happening just in Bentonville. It's happening across the United States. So we know that's going to come back. It's just going to take some time. And we're going to be patient, but we're going to work hard to try to fill up our hotels and our community quickly. We have, as you know, we did our Be Safe, Be Smart campaign. As we recruit events, we want to make sure our locals are just as safe as our tourists. So we're making sure that we don't require the mask. We're recommending the masks. We're doing the 6-foot social distancing. So we're going to continue to do that. We did this campaign with our partners in our community, and we couldn't do it without our partners. And I think that's super important. This is a true team effort in Bentonville. And that's one of my favorite parts about my job, is the people that I get to work with. Go ahead, Debbie. And so now let's go to some things that we like to talk about is our bike events that we have going on. And these are just a few that are on our calendar that are public events. And, last year we announced the Big Sugar Gravel Ride. It was our largest. It's the second largest race that happened. It sold out in less than 3 minutes of 1,200 riders coming to our area. And of course we had to bump it to 2021, and we're super excited about that. That is in October, along with Outer Bike and Oztrails. Both of those events are large events for us. But in June, one of our first races, or one of our first events, is the Bentonville Bike Festival that we're really involved in. We have the Rule of 3 in May. Of course, we always love our Square to Square events. With the city, the Parks Department leads the effort on, along in partnership with Fayetteville, and we love those community partnerships. So if you haven't got your bike out, you should be getting your bike out, because we know that it has increased drastically over the last few years. So the last few months. We are launching our public art map, hopefully in the next few weeks, and we're super excited. We have over 130 public art pieces in Bentonville, and a lot of people don't know that. And if you go to our website, you can see all those pieces. We have it separated by murals, sculptures, and the neon signs, because I think some of those are really great. And then you'll get to see that public art map, and that's in partnership with our city, our parks department, and Oz Art and the Rope Swing group. So we're super excited about that one.
Kaylin, I have a question about that, so I'm going to ask.
Sure.
So I think, are you also sort of gathering the stories behind the artists and different?
Yes, that's our newest thing, because we had a lot of people asking me about a certain piece of art, and I would try to research it and I couldn't find it. So we have somebody gathering every single artist, getting a bio from every artist, and we're getting the story behind the art, which is really important to me, because I try to, our team is trying to tell the story of the artist and why they did it. And so, yes, we will have that. That's going to take us a little bit longer since we have 130 pieces, but we are in the works with that. Hopefully those will start to be added within the next month, and you'll start seeing those, and they'll all be on our website. They will not be in the booklet. That'll be too big of a booklet, but we will have that map with the booklet, and it will be separated into sections. So if you're in a certain section, you'll be able to see all the art that you can see in that area. So we're super excited about that one. Our 2020 events that we're going to continue to see. Bentonville Film Festival will be back in August. We're really excited about that. We have Made Hoops, a couple different sporting events. Vintage Days continues to happen. It was a smaller early on, but now we're going to continue to see that happen. Cornhole, one of our big announcements that just happened this last month is it's a partnership with the school, Bentonville Public Schools, Spalding Hoop Hall Classic, and it is presented by East Bay. It is going to bring in some of the top basketball players across the nation that are getting recruited. So we're really excited about that. We're going to start seeing some outdoor live performances again. We're having our traditional baseball, softball, and that is, the Parks Department leads the effort on that in such a great way. We get to partner with them to make those events bigger and better. So, and then these are just a few of the things that are going on that we're going to continue to promote and be part of, and hopefully keep our community at the top of as a destination for people to come. And of course, I always say, I end with a Sam Walton quote: "Commit to your business, believe in it more than anybody else." And I think as these leaders on here, we believe in Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas, and we continue to strive to make it the best destination.
Kaylin, I think that's the fastest I've ever seen you get through your presentation. I planned more time for you, so I'm not sure. But I do think that we probably can fill the time with all the things going on in Bentonville. So what I hope people are hearing in the public is it really is a collaboration. So the city of Bentonville does work with our partnering organizations in the community, like Crystal Bridges, and then certainly downtown Bentonville, we actually have a contract with them to do some specific events in the city of Bentonville. And then Kaylin with the Visit Bureau, there's a relationship there with the hotels and restaurants and Airbnbs and how you're able to provide that service to promote the city through that. And so really appreciative of those partnerships. And I think we would all say that if we had to do these things alone as a standalone organization, we would be much less successful. And as I go and talk to other cities, when I talk to them about the collaboration that we have in Bentonville, it's amazing to see them want to learn more and how do you work so closely with these organizations. And it's really a tribute to everyone on this call. We also meet on a weekly basis with everyone from our superintendent to others in our community that are doing things on a daily basis and trying to put together events. Sometimes the city, when an event comes into town, you're usually contacting us because maybe from a safety standpoint, if a road has to be closed and we got to make sure that we can get a fire truck or an ambulance down it at the same time the event is going. There's a lot of collaboration and coordination through these events that I think sometimes the public maybe just doesn't know about. And so it's really, really important to have good relationships to where we can pick up the phone and call and say, how do we solve this problem, or how do we make sure that the safety route is in place here? And so again, want to say thank you to this group for that. I'm going to let each of you sort of give us more information about your websites and how people can find more information about events going on. And so I will go back up to Sandy, who started us, to give a little more information of how they can find out what's going on at Crystal Bridges and other properties you're involved with.
Sure. Want to make sure that I say the Momentary. So the momentary.org and crystalbridges.org are where you can get the most up-to-date. Of course, we on there, it also takes you to blogs. We are very active on the social scene as well, and all of that is listed. If you're trying to get the definitive sources, they're all listed on the main website. So we have a lot of things coming on. I do want to promote Crafting in America. It is really a superb show, and we organized it at Crystal Bridges, and it is going to go out across our country as a traveling exhibition. It's interesting that our works on loan and our exhibitions are some of the best ambassadors we have for Bentonville. So it will be leaving after Memorial Day. So if you were planning on seeing the show, please try to see it before Memorial Day. We have 3 fabulous shows that are up right now at the Momentary. We are really, I think everyone would be interested in knowing that we have had a significant uptick. To Kayleen's point about people staying over, the leisure traveler is back. And we are seeing a great uptick. At first, we just thought it was spring break, but now as we talk about the Silver Surge and all these other groups that are vaccinated and wanting to go places, they're coming, and they're coming to Bentonville. So we have a lot going on. We are not really having as many convenings yet, very similar to what Andrew has been dealing with. We're kind of figuring it out and doing most of our events outside, but we will ratchet that up over the summer and into the fall. Thank you for asking about that. But yes, if you go to each of those websites, crystalbridges.org or themomentary.org, you can get all the information.
Okay, Andrew, I'm going to go to you next. Remind everyone when Farmers Market, the times for Farmer, when First Fridays happen, and also the website, and also the block parties, and how they can find more information about that.
Absolutely. So our website is, once again, downtownbentonville.org. That is where we house all the information of the events that are coming up. I also want to mention following us on social media will get you real-time information, and you can just follow us, search for Downtown Bentonville on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter and LinkedIn, if that's your mode of communication as well. We also have a newsletter that goes out every Wednesday called the Wednesday 4, and it's 4 things that you need to know about Bentonville going on at that time. Pardon me. And you can sign up for that from our website. And then we also have our Friday 4, which is 4 events happening on that weekend. There's a lot more than 4 that are happening in this area, but we highlight 4 every Friday. And once again, you can go to the website and sign up for those. Our farmers markets are going on now every Saturday from 7:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. We are starting our first Fridays in May once again. And this first Fridays this year are going to go from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. It's an hour later than we've been doing in the past. But we think with the summer coming around and it's staying lighter, longer outside, and we just want to kind of keep the community together as much as we can. So that's from 3 until 9 p.m. every first Friday from May until November. And then our neighborhood concert series are from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. And they will kind of fluctuate across downtown Bentonville. And they will be starting next Friday. Normally the 3rd Friday of the month. That may fluctuate based on weather, but you can also find all that information from our social media pages as well.
Okay. Kayleen, I'll go next to you to find out about events, but also if the public is part of an organization or that would like to bring an event to Bentonville, you're also the contact for that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. First, I'm going to thank Debbie because I probably spoke faster because Debbie kept me moving on my PowerPoint. That's always, I'm just going to have to hire her to keep me moving in my presentations. So a little shout out to Debbie for that one, Mayor. Yes, first and foremost, if you're bringing an event in or and it could be just an event or it could be a meeting, a wedding, any of that, our team at visitbentonville.com, Amanda handles a lot of those. Our cycling events, Amy handles. We're getting ready to hire a new sports salesperson that you'll be able to go to if you have a sporting event. We're here to help. We're an extension of your team. If you're booking your event, we're going to make your life easier because we already are usually working with those contacts within the city, how we're making those happen. We can usually eliminate some steps for you really quickly. But you can go to visitbentonville.com and you can get all the information you want. A couple things that I want to talk about. Aaron Mullins is our director of communications, and he works directly with our media on all of our events and different things going on. But some of his fun things that he's doing is we do a blog every single week. You can find that on our website. We have a podcast. We have 2 different podcasts every single month. We do a leisure, just in general, what's happening in Bentonville or kind of some of our storytelling opportunities. We also have a cycling opportunity that we do within our cycling. And when we have professional cyclists in, they ride our trails, we get to talk to them. So we have a lot of different things going on from that perspective. And we work with our partners on our leisure there because it's not just about, Visit Bentonville's not always telling the story. It might be that we partner with Crystal Bridges, get their team to come tell the story, or Amazium to tell their story, what's going on and what's happening in our community. So you can go to our website to get those past blogs, and you can also get the past and present podcast at this point. So we continue to tell those stories. I forgot to mention, we have 2 things coming up. Pink Bike is coming into the community, and then also Outside Magazine is doing a bike testing in Northwest Arkansas, but also we've partnered with Little Rock. So we're not only staying with our partners in Northwest Arkansas, we are going all the way down to Little Rock to partner with them with that Outside Magazine opportunity. And that's really important for us. How do we showcase our state? And we want to bring our state to the top of the level as a destination. And we got to continue to do those kind of things as collaboration and partnership. But visit bentonville.com. We'd love to have you. If you have any questions, there's always opportunities. One of our team members can answer those questions and help in anything that you're bringing into the community.
I do have a question for you, and I wasn't actually going to ask this question, but since you gave us a little time. So I remember a conversation with you about you sort of created a way to do a convention outdoors in Bentonville, and you've kind of set sort of the standard to be able to do that. So I'm actually going to give you a little time to talk about this, Kayleen. So I think it's really unique, and we just appreciate our outdoor space and natural landscape here in Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas and so much. And so I think that's just a really unique creative idea. And so I'd like for you to sort of explain the concept and let the public know about it.
Yeah, we call it the unconventional convention because, when you go to conventions, you're going into a convention center and you never leave it. You don't get to experience the community. So we stay in the downtown area and we utilize the indoor and outdoor facilities in the downtown area. So we might have our main area as the Record, where it's kind of the starting point for your day. And then you get to go and we can do things at Lawrence Plaza. We can do things at Dave Peel Park, but we also do stuff in the Meteor. We do it in the Arvest Conference Room. We do it in 21C. You have to allow a few more minutes in between your breaks for people to have that walking opportunity. It has been one of our biggest selling opportunities, but people are starting to call us and asking us how we're doing it because they want to emulate it in their community. So we're really, really excited about it. We love it because people, after every convention they're like, we would have never went to downtown if we hadn't been part of this convention, or we would not have tried that coffee at, or gone to that restaurant because they would not have known about it and had that opportunity in our downtown. So this unconventional convention has been a huge hit. We're continuing to see it being utilized in opportunities. And it might be where somebody just has, 100 people and then they need to divide into 2 rooms. We separate them in 2 different facilities. And then it's sometimes we had up to 400 people and had to divide them into we had 5 different breakout sessions. So we worked it. We had mapping for them. We do everything for you to make that convention the easiest that you can have and the best experience. And then we also buy umbrellas for the event. So then so far it's kept the rain away. So I should knock on wood, but it has kept the rain away for us every time I buy umbrellas for the goodie bags.
Well, I love the concept, and I hope that we can maybe spread that to the public. And like, again, anyone that out there that's part of an organization that does conventions and would like to find out more information, I would certainly direct them to visit Bentonville. And I just like to see us doing new concepts and sort of being, and what's so fun about Bentonville is that we are doing something new and cutting edge every day. And so, you know, people are starting to call us now and say, how are you doing this? And so that's just so fun to experience it. And again, it's a big tribute to our community and that collaboration and working together. So want to say thank you again to everybody on the call. At this time, I think we're at 8:45. So we're going to have Debbie bring people into the conversation. And if they would like to ask a question, we're going to let them do that.
That might give me just a minute to promote everyone, but Kayleen, while you're still on the line, I'm curious if you'd like to just talk while everyone's coming in to answer a question, a little bit about the work that you do to represent Bentonville on a state level on the tourism department.
Fantastic. Thank you. I've been fortunate that I have been on the state parks tourism, or so now it's changed, Heritage and Tourism Commission at the state level. I'm fortunate. I was the chair during COVID, and they allowed me because we didn't do we were meeting every single month by Zoom, but a lot of things changed, that I am also the chair again. So I get to lead the effort in leading some amazing people across our state, talking about what's going on in the state and pushing tourism. And I do think that we as a state during COVID probably elevated better than most, because we are the natural state and so many outdoor experiences. Our state parks are some of the best across the United States. And if you haven't been to a state park, I would highly recommend it. They did really well over COVID. They slowed down just a little bit, but they bounced right back and they were doing really well. So from a state level, we are very, very fortunate. And I am fortunate to be part of State Parks Tourism and Heritage. And we've got some great leaders in our community and our state.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if you're still working on bringing people in, but if you are in the meeting and you have a question, if you will just unmute and we'll just kind of go by the first person to ask a question. Anybody out there have questions?
It looks like Joe Jones has the hand raised. Joe, if you're online, if you'd like to go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you. I appreciate this time that we've had to visit. This has been so informational. Mayor and all your panel, thank you so much for all the work that you do. My question and my concern for the community is mental health, and with finding a facility for people with mental challenges to be able to have a place to stay until they can get further help. I am a chaplain at the Benton County Sheriff's Office, as well as being a chaplain for the hospitals whenever those programs were in place. And we saw people every day. I also have a concern for the homeless. And I'm wondering, I love all the activities of bicycling and getting the family together and the parks and recreation and all of that, and for well and healthy people. And I know that some of the parks are for handicapped too. I understand that. But my concern is having a place for the homeless and making them feel as a part of this community as well. Thank you for hearing me.
Appreciate your comment. And if you want to contact my office outside of this conference, we can probably connect with some different things going on in the community around that's a little more specific than to that conversation. I'd be happy to do that. So if you'll either Debbie, you can take her information, or if you want to call my office,
okay,
happy to connect there too.
Okay,
absolutely. Joe, I'll reach out and so we can have a little bit further conversation on that.
Okay. I was wondering about, can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering also about, I know that the excavators and all, whatever you call them, the construction things are going in front of Old Bates Hospital. And I understand that maybe that's going to be torn down. And that's what got me to thinking about how can we have a reliable place for people with these particular needs. And so that was what I wanted to talk to someone about. I just think it would be a real feather in Bentonville's cap if we could lead the way in providing some facility and some treatment or whatever needs to be done. Northwest Arkansas is a melting pot. And what an opportunity it would be if we could, with the Walton Foundation or City of Bentonville or whoever it would be, that we could make this happen for the people and show them that we care about all the different diverse lines of the people of the community.
I appreciate your comment. There's a lot of work, I think, in that area. So I'd be happy to share with that information with you.
Wonderful.
If you'll contact my office, we'll make sure that conversation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. All right. Next question. Anybody else out there want to ask a question? Anybody? Hand raised. Debbie, you'll have to help me. I can't see everybody.
I don't see any hands that are raised, but you're welcome to just unmute your mic and ask the question if you have one. Sarah Milford. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, all, and thank you. I'm sorry to hop on late. Morning prayer this morning first, though. So I had a question for Kayleen about, we have a huge mural on the side of our church. Like, are there qualifications for qualifying for the mural map for Bentonville?
No, ma'am. If it's out, we've probably got a picture of it, but if I will go and look, if you can email me, and it's just my first name, Kalene at visitbentonville.com. Email me a picture of it, and our team will get back with you. If we don't, we'll have a photographer go out and take a picture. And we are also making those public art maps in small versions because we have murals popping up regularly. So we'll probably be printing those quarterly rather than once a year. For a while anyway, for sure. But Sarah, we'll make sure that we look at that and see what we can do. It may already be on there. I don't know. We've had our students going out and taking pictures of all of our art right now currently.
All right, fantastic.
Shoot me an email.
Thank you. And there's also a story about all the characters on there about contemporary and historical saints. So I'll be sure to provide you a write-up too if you need.
That'll be perfect. Thank you. You're taking one step out of it for us, so that's even better. Right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We'll say, as a mom of a teenage daughter, the public art. So if you do not know, it's really big with teenagers to do selfies, and they've got to have something to do the selfie in front of. So your public art list has been well utilized by my teenage daughter.
Good. Fantastic.
Good morning. I'm Mary Linda Blakey, and I have a question about construction on East Central, just right off the square. Can you tell me what is going in there? Is that private or city property?
East Central, right? I think that's private. Debbie, help me. Is it the one coming in town across from the court?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's a private development. It's housing development.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And just so everyone knows, we have actually a GIS site at bentonvillear.com. And if you go to that GIS site, anything that's been through large scale development and any information that has been presented already through planning commission and large scale development, and oftentimes went through city council as well, is all in that map too. So you can go to the map, click on a specific property, and any public information that we have about it will be there. And oftentimes there's going to be much more information on that site than the city will be able to tell you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. Any other questions?
Mayor, I'll just say that the contact information, the phone number for your office is 479-271-5966. And I'll be glad to take messages and pass along to you if any of the citizens have questions that they want you to address. Or you can reach me at mayor_assistant. Assistant is all spelled out, ASSISTANT at bentonvillear.com. So just reach out at any time and I'll be happy to pass the message along.
I don't see any other hands raised, but if you do have a question, please unmute your mic and just ask the question. Okay.
Okay. So what we typically do to wrap these up is that all the panelists will stay online, but we sort of officially adjourn everybody. So if you want to drop off the call, you can. But if you have a question, we will stay on until the last person drops off and answer those questions. So we appreciate everybody's time this morning. And if there's a specific topic or something that you would like to cover for us to cover in a mayor's coffee, please send that to my office as well. Again, these are meetings designed to give as much information to the public as we can. We know that you're interested in the community, and we just have so much going on. It's really hard to direct you to one specific site. So when we can do these informational meetings, we appreciate the participation, and we'll try to get as much information out to you as we can. So thank you everyone for joining us. And again, we'll adjourn and we'll stay on and answer questions until the last person is off. Andrea, I'll ask you a question. Is the weather for this weekend, is it going to warm up?
Not looking so far. It looks like another wet and it looks like rain, 70% chance of rain on Friday and Saturday. So it looks like another potential dreary one. What do they say? April showers bring May flowers. We should be having a ton of flowers in May.
Scott, do you have a question? I see that you've unmuted your mic.
Yes, I do. So first question for Mayor Orman, maybe next time we should just have Dan Scoff on the.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Cold weather breakdown.
I will say the weather is definitely something when you're thinking about events that can definitely have an effect. So.
Absolutely. Andrew, good to see you again. We miss you in the neighborhood. I actually had a question for Kayleen, very tactical in nature, but with the popularity of these welcome to signs that exist everywhere, and knowing that, our deep rooted connection to the arts here, is there any discussion around a welcome to Bentonville mural or design anywhere that would become kind of that photo op, as you talked about some of the Instagram stuff earlier?
Yeah, for sure. We have, there's about 3 different things that we're working on. We're trying to make sure we want it to be unique and not so it looks just like everybody else, because that's just, I think, how we at Bentonville like to be, is I think creative. So there's a group of folks that are working on a couple different ideas, Scott, with the welcome to, or even just some Bentonville opportunities. So you'll probably see some of that in the next in the next year or so. Those don't happen overnight either. So we've got some things that we're working on. I'm hopefully going to be excited to announce a few of those in the next 6 to 8 months. So, but yes, Scott, that has probably been talked about for a couple of years now. Sure. I think we're just on the way. Now we're at the point now. I just was on the phone with somebody, said, I need a couple walls. I have a couple ideas. Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm driving around. If you'd see them, take pictures, because we were trying to figure out where we could put a couple different things. So we're fortunate that we have this great opportunity. It's trying to find the right location for all of them. So I think you'll see something like that in the next year or so.
Great. Thank you again. I love the Main Street one downtown, right by the neighborhood market as an example. So awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
I do think it's interesting how the Momentaries You Belong Here has kind of transcended the momentary, and you'll see it on all type of social media representing Bentonville, which I think is pretty cool. So yes. We love it when it anchors to a place, but it transcends that place at the same time.
Yep. And Sandy, that's probably one of my favorites, because it talks about, being inclusive and everything, that we have this opportunity. We want people to feel like they belong here, not just visiting, but also living here. On a regular basis. I think we're hearing people coming to visit, and then they're transitioning into a resident.
Mm-hmm.
Kayleen, your background is one of my favorite, newest murals. And
yes,
there's a video, sort of a time-lapse video out there of that mural being done that I've recently shared. So it is fun to watch the murals come up. And I just wish I had one little hint of art talent that some of these individuals have. So
yeah, this one is one of my favorites because it looks very 3D-ish. I don't know that because of the artist is so amazing. And I think it's Ouizi is how you say that, Sandy. I just don't know if I want to butcher it. It's Ouizi. I would say Uzi, but I don't think that that's right.
I think we're all learning. We're all learning, Kaylee.
Yeah, she's amazing. It was fun to watch her do it. I was able to take a picture early on, and then I went back and took this picture, and I was like, you know what? We're talking about public art. I need to have it as my backdrop for sure. So,
is she local, or did we bring her into the area?
They brought her in.
Okay.
She's all over the United States. Yeah.
Very cool.
She's amazing. And that's the nice thing is we have some mix of that where we're bringing in artists, but we also have local artists. I think I'm very proud of our leadership across the arts world that we're bringing in and introducing new artists, but they're also partnering with local artists on some of those. I was on the phone with an artist recently out of Phoenix, and he said he wants to work with a local artist to do it with him while he's doing the mural. And so I thought that's a great opportunity for us to connect artists, that maybe it brings one of our artists to another city that they partner with them on another project. So I think that's always looking at ways to build our artists up and introducing them to the rest of the world is one of the things that I feel kind of like that's our job as leadership in our community.
Very cool.
Well, I have 9 o'clock and people have stayed on because we're just having a conversation, but we're not actually getting questions asked from the public. If you leave the 4 of us on here, we can probably talk all day about things. So. But if you
good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much, everybody. Good, ma'am. Trust me, nothing is better than to have a coffee in the morning with the mayor. That's a great thing. Oh yeah, that's the best thing. Yes, ma'am. I have a small question from Andrew. He got a beautiful event for with the neighborhood concert, music concerts. And is there, it's going to happen just for the downtown area, or it's going to be spread in the different parts of Bentonville?
So this is one of the few things that we do go beyond the perimeter of downtown. So we are looking at going to neighborhoods throughout Bentonville as a whole, because our mission behind this particular event is to bring the downtown experience to different neighborhoods and share with those neighborhoods how great our downtown is and what that does for Bentonville as a whole. So we will be traveling outside of the downtown area.
That's great. Thank you. And Ma'am Kellen, is there any festival, a family festival or of music or art is coming for the city, in Bentonville, especially in the downtown area, for families, or like musical or art festival, like for long weekend festival, not for a few hours? Is there any in a pipeline or planning through you guys?
Sandy, do you want to talk on this?
Well, yes, we will be having at Crystal Bridges, we are going to have our North Forest concerts, which are very family friendly. In fact, they're great because you take your lawn chairs, you put them up, and then the kids can go just run through the forest. It's not like they have to sit in a place all night. So it's great for families. And then we're going to be having 2 festivals coming up. And, sadly, I don't have the information right in front of me, but they are family friendly festivals that are coming up that you can find on the Momentary website. And I'm just at a loss right now. Maybe Kayleen, if you have it in front of you.
Well, I know the Fresh Grass was in September.
Live in America.
And Live in America is coming up. Yes, Live in America. And I think that's October, if I remember correctly. Aaron, are you on here? Do you have that information in front of you?
I don't, but I'll look that up real quickly.
Yeah, just a second. We have it. I'm sorry. And Sandy, I didn't list your events on all my stuff because I thought Sandy's on the call, but I took them off because I thought I don't want to steal your thunder.
But we do, I think particularly if you are interested in family-oriented events outside, free, most of ours are free. We're really starting to get them online now that the weather is getting nicer, May, June, July. And I think one of the most fun ones are the North Forest. They're so family friendly and reasonably priced. So
Sandy, your events these last 2 Sundays, I've heard nothing but wonderful, wonderful things. I was at my daughter's softball, but I got calls yesterday about Sunday's event. So I will say nothing but wonderful things, and they loved that they were family friendly. So I think the things that you guys are doing out there that are creating that family friendly opportunity is wonderful. Thank you.
We're also putting a shade system up over Walker Landing, which is going to allow us to do wonderful events out there for families. During the heat of the summer, it will be not as oppressive and give us another event space. So we're excited about that.
I'm moving all of our events to Sunday because the weather's always good on Sunday. So I'm canceling officially First Fridays and farmers markets, and we're moving them to Sunday.
So AWAS, I will just say First Fridays for my family have always been something that we've really enjoyed. So I'm almost always at our First Fridays, and then farmers market as well. I would say is definitely a family friendly event that happens every Saturday in downtown. So I'm hoping that you've been a part of one of those before, but if not, and if you, I know Andrew in downtown Bentonville is always trying to come up with new ideas and how to make those events in particular work, just more collaborative with the community. And I'm sure that if you had a specific idea or suggestion, we'd be happy to have that conversation. Or downtown, I'm speaking for downtown Bentonville a little bit, but the city as well. They're kind of our event partner.
I would love to, if you want to, I would love to talk about neighborhoods that we can visit and anything that we can do for our events. So my contact information is just andrew@downtownbentonville.org. And I welcome any kind of feedback and ideas. We're always looking to expand and do new things.
And you can contact me at sandy.edwards@crystalbridges.org. And I usually know everything that's going on. But unfortunately, my screen and my phone right now aren't giving me everything.
So Awas, I will say one thing that you'll probably hear more about is hopefully in September, we're wanting to try to do some sort of get to know your neighbor event. And then there's also been some talks about a multicultural type of event as well that I think would both be very family friendly. So a couple of new things that are out there. We just don't have any specifics yet. We're all sort of trying to navigate through the pandemic and what that looks like, and then what events. It's hard. The planning of events right now is very challenging. I will say that, but a couple of new things that we're talking about, I think you'll also see.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, this is Gwen Kelly. I just got one quick comment to make because this has been a wonderful panel, and thank you so much, Mayor Orman, for all that you are doing. And I just wanted to leave a comment for the panel because I'm very fortunate to be on the DEI task force, and I would like to suggest that perhaps there could be the panelists could perhaps come to one of the DEI meetings to talk about all that they are doing, because I see a possible overlay of when we're talking about the rich diversity of Bentonville, and many do not know of what's taking place. There's a great opportunity. So I just wanted to plant that seed, and thank you all for everything that you're doing.
Gwen, thank you. It's an opportunity. I know I don't think I've told the mayor this, but I've been on a couple different national CEO opportunities with tourism, and I've been able to talk about that DEI task force that the mayor has been initiated, and it has been a huge hit. We've been able to pass that information on to other tourism bureaus that are passing it on to their community leaders. So it's been fantastic. I think what you guys are doing is a great asset for us, and we'd love to be, present to the group at any time.
Yeah, count on us.
I will reach out to you.
Fantastic.
Gwen, please reach out to us as well. I mean, I think you had a great recommendation that we come and speak to you, but I would actually prefer you to come speak to us. Having experienced some of our events, what can we do to make sure that we're really making it truly inclusive? I had great ideas, but they're my ideas. I'd love to hear some other people's ideas as well.
Andrew, I would love to do that because, again, being a former Walmartian, as you say, as one would say, and having been integral in driving multicultural marketing as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion at my former employer, I would love to share some of the ideas that I still have as I remain a resident here in Northwest Arkansas.
I love that.
Thank you.
Maybe
thank
Debbie,
you.
Debbie, if you're on the call still, maybe you can connect Gwen and I via email.
Yep, absolutely. Really I'll do that for you. No worries.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gwen. Great comment.
Great.
Anybody? We're after 9, so I try not to hold people after 9. But like I said, if you leave the 4 of us on here, we can probably talk all day long. But
yeah, and to be polite, we are waiting on a utility meeting, so.